Hey, Lady Kitty, how's it going? I'm busy getting things sorted. Alright, I think it's a good time to start. Let's start. Alright. How's it going? Ooh, good to be healthy. I actually worked out the other day. I ended up jogging for 40 minutes and then doing heavy lifting for like another 40 minutes. I pretty much worked like an hour and a half yesterday working out. Good to get healthy. Yeah, hopefully the rain will not mess with the stream. This morning we were trying to do rank matches in Identity 5 and the rain just kept knocking us out. It was insane. That's a good thing to do. Alright, so for me it's powerlifting. For my wife it's energy training. She wants to have more energy, be able to like run farther and faster. I want to lift heavier. Sword. Oh my, you're going. Lady Kitty with a sword. That sounds a bit dangerous. Ooh. Kids better be. They better not have a sharp mouth, otherwise they might get a sharp sword in the end. Hey, Ad Astra, how's it going? Stream just started. Commenting about working out. But now, I'm going to start trying to program a bit. Let's see here. What originally we were doing was we were generating a parser. Technically, I want to start kind of collecting all the data that we have. I know what I want to do is start collecting the data. I worry, though, that if I start running this in the background of the stream, then it's just going to completely... You know, we're going to lose all upload rates. Yeah. There'll be, like the old ye classic British times. Ah, you have insulted my honor. We must have a duel. For science. Ooh, I like science. Alright. So pretty much we were able to start downloading web pages. I think we even have the extraction code right here. Download the data. So we're already starting to do that. Oh yeah, I remember. We were trying to attach it to a web page service. Oh man, there are so many threads here that all need to be worked on. I think... Yeah, because the idea behind the web service is that eventually I'll be able to just initialize certain databases based off of which service we initialize. That way we don't have to mess with... That way we don't have to mess with a whole bunch of background stuff. As in, I don't have to keep going over to Mongo. Go to the... Oh, which one is it? I kind of already forgot where everything is. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Nope, not that one. Or that one. Okay, alright. It's not a service. We've established that. Where did I hide? Where is this hidden? I think it should be... Basil... No, it's not this one either. Mongo service. There it is. Okay, yeah, it's this one. So we won't have to keep running this one all the time. Automation, exactly, yes. The idea is that I can have this start running in the background and I can kind of ignore it. We'll be using Rundeck. I think I showed it before. If you go here, type in Rundeck. Here you go. It's an automation tool. The idea is that you write code, basic functions like extract website, process data, reorganize your bookshelf, and then you then set up Rundeck, and then you can orchestrate when you want it to run. For instance, every Tuesday in the evening on a blue moon, I would like you to reorganize my sock drawer, and then it'll keep track of the timing and then run that for you. So yeah, I think there's a lot of different tools like Rundeck. This is the one that I was preview. Actually, maybe I should check real quick. Rundeck alternatives. I know that there's I know that Amazon AWS has its own automation software, and I know that it's Google's pipeline system. It also has its own automation one. Rundeck is one of the few open source versions of that. But I think there's actually one that's even more open source. Why does it look like manage it? Yeah, manage it. This is AI garbage, isn't it? Yeah, AWS with its there, Apache Airflow. There it is. There's Apache Airflow. There's Jenkins. There is. I think we'll stick with Rundeck. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. Stack Storm. And then the rest of the tab loud. That is not open source. You lie, website. You lie. All right, we'll forget about. Apparently the websites don't know what they're talking about. Have fun working out. Have fun working out. Gaio, out of oil. But yeah, so we're going to be running that. So we'll in order to run that, we need to set up pipelines, which will tell us what needs to be initialized, what needs to be run, pretty much which connections we're going to use, what connections need to be disabled. But that's kind of a bit later down the road. For now, we need to get this written. So let's see here. We don't need the ROM doc. We don't need the base doc. We have the scraper. I think actually, scraper. All right, so this is it. So probably one thing we need to do is we need to define where we're going to be getting our data for extracting. We kind of already established a little bit. A bit loud, one moment. There we go, okay. So yeah, we kind of already established that we can access the website. Here it is. We can then proceed to go around. We should just start downloading these pages, these project pages. Let's see here. So the first thing we do is download this. We then extract out all of the information here. We can then hop into here. Yeah, I should probably set it up right here. Yeah, this is exactly what we're going to do. So what we'll do here is we need to... Pretty much what we need to do is we need to write the code so that we can enter here, set it up so that we can start downloading all the URL links. And then from there, we can then parse out the URL links later and then go back and then start downloading the individual components. So first things first is we need to collect these pages. If I recall, these should, yeah, you can see in the bottom right corner, it says romhacking.net/hacks, and then it gives us the key code number. I think, yeah, they look a bit, I would argue they're probably not random. Those are probably just the codes within the database. But we're not going to tempt fate. So we're just going to download all of the pages. Let's see here. If we inspect here. All right. So we're going to end up doing a little bit of XML coding here because we want to make as few calls as possible to the database or to romhacking.net. So in order to do that, we're going to take advantage of the results per page. You can have 200 per page. That is, actually, we should do a test. Let's see here. If I do 200 and go, right up here, 200. I want to change that. What happens if I change it to 500? Does it work? Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, invalid range. They put barriers in there. My. Okay, so yeah, what we'll want to do is want to select 200. Let's see here. I'm trying to get down here to the next page. Here we go. Here we go. That's what we'll want right there. Well, the idea is that I'm going to start modifying this code right here. Let's copy this. And I bet if I change this to 1. Yeah, there you go. It's working. I bet, what's the last page? 42? Yeah, 42. All right. Actually, if you look, there's a lot of also useful information here that I could potentially take advantage of. For instance, we have our original game name, we have the developer, we have the genre, platform, even the version number and the date that it was released. So this would actually be quite vital information. We will have to parse this later. The main thing is to save all of this data now, but yeah, we should probably think about how to store all this in the database. Let's see, the last page was 42. Let's do one more test. 42. There we go. So that's the last 123. There we go. And now last, I want to see what happens if I put 43 down. What happens if I put 43? All right, another error. Perfect. Okay, good to know. Good to know, good to know. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start working here. I think, all right, so we'll just go ahead and put this as the, we'll call this romhack URL extension. As a string, it's a string. Now this is going to be a number. We'll call this num. We'll call this number. And this is kind of a... I would like to keep it all 200. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We don't need the romhacking.net. Because this is a simple extension, we can just copy, or we'll just combine the two. There we go. All right then, so now what we can do here, we'll define a function. We'll go to download, let's see here. There's gonna be a lot of download. Let's change this to extract. So extract ROM hacking data. There we go. We're not outputting anything, so we don't need anything there. But technically, we don't need any input either. The main thing is, we need to first go to the URL. So for, let's see here. Web page service, go to, oh, wrong web page service. We want to go to Selenium driver. Go to URL. We'll simply do main URL plus, this will be the ROM hacking extension format, and then number will equal 0. There we go. All right then. Now this should theoretically have us go to the first page. Now we have that. Next thing we want to do is get the final, because the last page will always be changing. As they add in more and more and more ROMs, we'll need to go, oh yeah, I want to know what the exact last page is. I could just theoretically let it run until we reached an error, but I would rather have it know when to stop, because it saves me one extra cycle. Theoretically, after going to the first page would also, I could write the code to extract this first page, and then we can start continuing on from there to, again, save more cycles. Though we did program in that if we're in the existing web page we want to be, it will say no. It will not jump. Maybe we can take advantage of that. Either way, let's get this done. So let's see here. So self.selenium driver dot, let's see here. I don't want to have to go all this deep. Let's see here. Where is... Actually, I kind of have an idea. Let's see, where's our driver? Let's see, scrapers. Here it is, the base. All right. Set up driver, quit session. There's our tabs. Okay then, get XPath. No, not click. Download current web page. All right, we'll be calling that. All right. Okay then. I want to say this would be pull page source. Pull current page source. This will parse out a web element. But it's not going to be a Selenium web element. No, this is going to be the... Yeah, this is going to be the different one. This is going to be from our parser. Let's see here. Oh, they call it HTML element. So, okay, that's good enough. Let's grab these two. We'll put them right there for now. It can organize itself later. We're going to return the HTML element. There we go. Then we'll do HTML dot from string self dot driver dot page source. There we go. We're going to simply return this. And it claims that it doesn't like the LHTML. Oh. Up we go. I call it something else, didn't I? I call it LX. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Okay. From straight. Okay, so this should give us the HTML format. That way we don't have to do it all the time. And then from our scraper, here we can just simply, instead of going to the driver, we can go pull current page source. This will be our HTML, which will be our HTML elements. All right. There we go. And then from here we can do HTML.xpath. And then from here, we just need to find out what our path is to that number. This should be very simple. We just want the very last page number. This one should hold a very special space, especially on the first page. If I remember, it's always defined as last. At least a lot of the websites that I've seen, they would always define it as last. And... no, they don't define it as last this time. No, they don't. They define it as pages. Div class pages. The second to last one because of the next button. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. So let's go ahead and find this first. So div class pages. And A. Alright. Alright. So this will be div. It's going to contain a class with pages, and we want the A after that, but also the text of those, like that. This should give us a list. I think this will put down a list of... This is theoretically going to be a list of integers, and we'll call this the page list. There we go. Okay then, let's go ahead and get this set up. So we're theoretically going to have to run this code in our parser first, the base, because we haven't actually done it yet. So let's go ahead and run this. And we're outputting it as HTML. Oh, let's see here, it's complaining. Oh yeah, because of this has to be Selenium driver. There we go. And there we go. Okay, nice. And I have a strong suspicion I should change the name of this because there's going to be a lot of overlap. So we'll call this the page HTML. All right, so there we go. Now page HTML. But let's run this code here. There we go. So page list. Now here we have two. It goes all the way 11, then 42, and then yeah, these are not all integers. And then it should be 2 again, right? No, it's called next. Oh, it's called next. Okay. Oh, right. 1 second. I thought that it would come back as a number again. We're pulling... How much do you bet that that is not... Nope, it is. It's because of the fact that the end is the URL we're looking at. So 42 is the last number. All right. All right, all right. Well, if that's the case, then, whoops. All right, well, simple. Simple. I wonder if I can just do a... Well, we need to set this as int, or this will be... We'll call this A for A in page list if A or if... If I try and do an integer of next, it's going to throw an error. I'm going to if int of A. Let's see here. It's going to throw an error, but I want to see the error happen. There we go. Yep. Next, invalid error. So let's see here. Let's see here. If A I could throw a try in here. I don't think throwing a try in here would be the best option though. Part of me feels like I know what I can do, because I don't really want to mess with that. Let's get back over here. We're changing this. Instead of the text, we're going to go grab href. There we go. Now our page list should theoretically be, yeah, here we go. All the pages. And then from here we'll just split it up. So we'll call this A, or we'll do another one. A for A in page list. Split. We're going to split it by the equal signs. And then last but not least, we'll take the last element. Oh. Whoops. There we go. And to be even more prudent, we're going to do a max of that. There. Oh. 5 is not the max. Okay then, let's see here. Alright, let's see here. Why did that throw that? Oh yeah. Alright, now that should fix that problem. Boy, this is a giant mess, isn't it? There we go. Okay, perfect. We're just gonna pretend that this doesn't look ugly. This is the most beautiful line of code we've ever seen. Okay then. Max page, which is going to be an integer. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely going to throw in. Here's the hoping that we don't run into anything weird, because otherwise this is definitely going to throw an error, and it's definitely going to be a pain in the butt. But now we have the max. So what we can then start doing here is we can go for page in range of 0 to max page. There we go. Then for that, we'll then simply go to our web page, self-driver, go to this page here, but instead of putting in our 0, it's now page. Now theoretically this should be, because of the code we put in earlier where it will say, oh yeah, you're already on the current page, so we're not going to bother doing anything. So that way we won't run the risk of wasting our chances of collecting data. It'll already be loaded, so it should be fine. But then from here, what we can then now do is call our web service. And then we will create a document. Oh yeah, we should probably give this a name. How about we call it... How about we define it up here first? We'll have to sort it out separately, but here, we'll put it right here for now. This will be the ROM hacking... ROM hack extract. All right then. Oh. ROM hack extract. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Import in the final. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so from here, creating our documents, we'll pull in the. This is the name. So this plus the page. we'll have to convert this to a string. And then for the type, this will be a web page, web types enum, and this is going to be a web page. We should probably, yeah, I think we'll call it web page for now. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then from that, we'll then want to sleep. We should sleep for... oh boy. Hey, Cold Bomb. How's it going? How long should we sleep? The longer I wait, the longer it will take to collect data. So I don't want to wait too long. But at the same time, I don't want the end of the sun to happen, and we're still not done collecting the data. 15 seconds? Does that sound reasonable? Doing well, doing well. It's nice and sunny right now, so hopefully that means we won't have trouble with rain knocking out the internet. This morning, we kept getting hit by rain after rain after rain. And because of that, I gave up streaming. I gave up streaming for the morning. Well, yeah, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to not notify we don't want to strain the website's resources, and we don't want to notify something like Cloudflare. So the longer we wait, the better. And in fact, I'm going to even, let's see here, I'm going to be even more sneaky as well. So we have random.randomInt. Oh, of course, I need to spell random correctly. What is this rabdin? All right then. Let's import random. I think we just need to import random there. Random int. I think it's called randint, isn't it? Yeah, it's called rand. There it is, randint. And we're going to set this from 15 to 20. There we go. So actually, we'll pick weird numbers. We'll go with 14 to 22. This way, because it's again, if the more randomness I can put into the system, the more likely that the AI bots that are trying to track scrapers will go, oh, we don't have to worry. This is just some schmuck just kind of navigating his way through the website. No, I don't have wireless internet. It's a landline, but I don't know how the cables are prepared here. Yeah, I don't know how the cables are set up where I live, and as such, whenever it rains, it just completely it'll mess with the cable somehow, and then internet drops for like 5-10 minutes. But all right, so let's see here. Creating a document also returns a document, so let's call this doc. And we want to put in, let's see here, the doc should have a couple other details we want. For instance, tag. There it is, tag. And we'll call this ROM hacks for now. There we go. Doc.save. It is very, very annoying. Oh, super annoying. All right, I think this is good. Theoretically, what I'll be doing is creating multiple databases. The most optimal way to solve to set this up is to have different websites have different databases. So for instance, if you go in right here, you can see this is called RomsDB. Theoretically, I would write this up. So this is romhacking.net, and then this one up here would be, like, this is romhacking.net. This would be Nexus Mods. Then the next one would be Game Banana. You know, it would be a whole list of these different websites, and then I could extract them. The reason why you would want to do this is it is data integrity. That way, if one of the websites has trouble, it doesn't take down the entire database. So as such, we're going to keep while we're keeping that in mind. For this, we'll just simply have a defined like ROM hacks, because we'll be saving other elements in here, and we'll keep them separated by that. This means that I don't have to put in here, this is ROM hacking net ROM hacks, and then another one will be game banana ROM hacks. They'll all be stationed in the ROM hacks, or they'll all be ROM hacks for this particular website. It's a little bit of a database thing. Let's see here. So I think that will be good. Oh, we should probably try and run it. That right there will, yeah, we should try and run it. So let's go ahead and let's try. So first things first, we need to quit the session. Let's see here. There it is, quit session. There we go. Let's go ahead and run this. Actually thinking about it, let's restart our Python. Let's restart the Python setup. Okay then. So there's that. We need to run. Where are you? Mongo services. Here it is. Let's connect. There we go. Let's run. There we go. Game scraper. All right. On our way, on our way. We've loaded it up. I haven't figured out the verification step yet. Yeah, I haven't figured this bit out yet, so we'll have to, I might have to just keep manually doing that. I'm tempted. I am tempted to write, because one thing I don't want to do is lose the control of the mouse. But if I have to, what I could do is I could write code so that, you know, this could be running, not headless, but headered. This could be running headered while I'm sleeping. And then I could just have the mouse going around and clicking locations. It's very dangerous, though, because it's very, very dangerous. Because if anything changes on the web page and I'm unaware of it, then it would result in going off to yonder, wherever that might take us. But either way, now that we're here, let's go grab, let's see here. We want to run this one right here, extract ROM hacking data. So let's go ahead and run this and see how things fare. So self.that run. Let's hop over to our webpage. It threw an error. Oh my, why'd you throw an error? Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. Okay, ignore me. I know why. It doesn't start at 0. We want to change the range. 1 to max page plus 1. There we go. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and run this from here. There we go. Now, how is this looking? It threw an error again. I wonder why. Let's see, page should be... Why is it 0, 0? Let's see here. Oh. Oh yeah. I need to change it there too. Okay. Okay, yeah. I really need to make the even dumber emoji expression. There we go. Okay then. Oh hey, look, we navigated to our first page. And now we got the error. Okay, so why you throw an error, you? Why you throw an error, you? Auto ID. Oh. This happens to be a problem with our database. All right. Creating the documents again. Wait, I thought we fixed the ID problem. Auto ID is 0. I thought we fixed the ID problem. Create document. All right then. Okay, so we need to change. All right, we need to change this in the database. ID needs to not be read-only. All right then. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's see here. You can't update it. You have to delete it and you have to delete it and reinsert it. The main thing I want to do is see. So they have object ID. But this is an auto ID issue. So MongoDB turn off auto ID. How to disable object ID in my MongoDB documents? Insert 1. Or you can turn it off by... Oh, here we go. There it is right there. Okay. Auto index set to false. Alrighty, let's get to our document. Why do I have a feeling that a lot of my documents will have this extra added piece to it? I wonder if I can just... I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see here. We want our web page doc right here. Collection web page docs. There we go. Our auto ID is going to be set to false. There we go. All right then, let's rerun this. Oh, I forgot to close out the session. Let's see here, base docs. We should be good on base docs and ROM docs. Web page docs. Oh my, we have too many things open. Web page service should be fine. Scraper, here we go, this one. There we go. Let's run this one. Oh boy, I wonder if it's going to start complaining if we keep logging in like this. I hope not. If this, we might have to see about trying to do something away from our, the web page. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, we're in. Now let's go ahead and try and run the file again. There we go. Now let's see if this will work. We're at the page 200. All right. We went to the next page. Okay. And it looks like it might be working. It threw an error. Ooh, okay, why did you throw an error? Mongo Engine's validation. A validation error. Auto ID. It's still onto that auto ID thing. Let's see here. Where are you? We want to refresh everything. Okay, where's the refresh button? I keep forgetting. Oh, there it is, right there in the top right corner. Okay. Refresh. All right, web page docs. It's still Alrighty. I'm gonna delete this. We're deleting this entire... Let's just delete web page docs completely. Okay, let's try this again. This should theoretically recreate the entire document now. And it should take into account the changes that we did. For instance, no auto ID. And it's still It is still throwing the error. Auto ID, invalid object ID. Oh, how much do you bet that it wants me to actually use object ID to make the ID? How much you bet that's what it wants me to do? Let's see here. Where's our base docs? Right here. Object ID. How much you bet that wants us to do this? Not BSON. I don't recall it being a BSON. Let's see. Where are you? If you want to disable the automatic generation, you can explicitly state it to a value of your choice by inserting documents. For example, this. I wonder. Or you can turn it off by defining this in your schema, which is what we did, but that didn't work. Use unique ID. Use unique ID from your domain as _ID. If you do not mention _ID, Mongo automatically assigns the object ID. So how much do you bet it has to be involving? Because we do this. We kind of theoretically create the document. We kind of theoretically create the document at the beginning. And then we're trying to apply an ID. How much do you bet that this is where our problem is? Because we don't actually pass in an ID, pass in the document ID here. So if I bet I did _ID equals, and then I put name here, this might actually solve the problem. What does CLS do? CLS is class. That's what it means. And theoretically, what it's doing is it's creating the instance of the class method. For those who don't know how Mongo engine works. So the way it's like super, exactly. It's like super. The way Mongo engine works is every instance is the document file. The class is the connection to the collection, and the file name, when you create an instance, is the actual document and the information inside of it. So as such, when I call class like this, it's really trying to grab that document. So let's not put, there we go, let's do that. Let's see if that actually solves our problem. In fact, we're going to try and create a document right now. So webpage doc dot create doc. Oh, all right. We need to restart the system again. Actually, yeah, we should restart the system. I'm tempted to just do a quick test and before we load the driver up again. There we go. Okay. Where are you? Webpage doc, right here. Let's run you. And let's make sure that we're connected. There we go. So webpage doc, let's go with webpage doc dot create doc. We're going to call this pi. And it throws an error. Okay, why does it throw an error? The _ID field does not exist in your document. Okay. Does it need ID then? since I defined ID already. Let's see, where are you? There it is, doc, base doc. We'll change that to ID then. Okay, let's try this again. Web page doc. There we go. Web page doc, create doc, pi, and still throwing an error. Now why? It's the auto ID. We need to probably change this to insert ID, insert documents. Yeah, we might need to change this to an insert document. It's either that or we just start using object ID for everything. So DB collection insert 1. And then we then input in this information. All right. All right, all right. Let's type in Mongo engine real quick. And let's see here. Yeah, is it possible to avoid using automatic ID? No, you can't get rid of it. It is there by design, but you can map your unique identifiers to the ID itself when inserting. Yeah, so we have to insert the documents. All right then, so it's all about insert 1. Alrighty. Okay then, if that's the case, then we need to... Oh. If that's the case, then what we need to do is modify our create document file. This should be ID. That should be ID. And this should be... I think we can do CLS dot insert. Oh. Most likely it's objects. Then we can do insert. Nope, no. Those are our queries. Not create index. Compare not indexes. Oh, I bet I know what the problem is. Oh, I bet I know what the problem is. Let's see here. It's because it's looking at base doc. If we go to document dots. All right. Where's the insert 1 for Mongo engine? How much do you bet it doesn't have an insert 1 for Mongo engine? We're going to have to probably use a different thing. Let's see. Those are all the different fields. We already dealt with that. Hey, EXO. How's it going? We've already done with that. Unique primary key. No. Not a query. All right. Mongo engine insert 1. How to insert one of multiple documents. I am sounding a bit better, aren't I? It's all the heat. It's all the heat. Let's see. Where there's name, example. This creates a new document for user collection and save the method, inserting the documents. If it doesn't exist, the updates based on the primary key, typically ID field. I think, yeah, I have a strong feeling I'm going to have to be using a completely different... I don't think Mongo engine allows for changing the ID. The Mongo engine sets ID. Here we go. Okay then. So from bson.objectID, import object ID. Basically, you can do the following. So class my embedded document, then we have OID, primary key, true required. Okay, that's not what we're looking to do. Yeah, that's not, but it does kind of tell me that I might need to do some modifications down the road. According to the documentation, you can add object ID field to your models. However, it is not required, and primary key then should be set this attribute as true. Also, it does not generate object ID for each of them of it, then import and set it as set default it as an object ID. Last step is a bit tricky. It is required explaining. Bson object ID is a class of generate new objects. Moreover, documentation say that the default value can be callable. Then that explains clearly how it works. Also, name of _ID of the embedded document is not best naming practice because you will write query of the embedded document with a double underscore and _ID name have more than one underscore for the following. Alright then, so the Mongo engine throws exceptions based on _ID name. Have an underscore, thus you should give it name as OID as a short name or an abbreviation and rename ID directly to what you want. Well, okay, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. We're setting it as ID and then we are trying to parse it into _ID. Apparently, we're going to have to create an object ID. It just won't accept any old string that we feed into it. So we'll just have to sit with that. So let's go ahead and import this in. Actually, we could probably hide that for now. So we'll import that in. Now, let's see here, ID, because originally we were sending the ID as a string field, hoping that that would be sufficient, but apparently it doesn't like that. So we'll just have to change this. They claim that they changed it to object ID field. All right, why don't we go ahead and just copy this? We'll just go ahead and copy this. There we go. And the DB field will be called _ID, like so. Let's import this in. There we go. Now that it is an object ID field, from here, we'll just simply take object ID when we create our documents. Let's see here. We will... Okay, this will be our class. Then ID will equal object ID, and then we'll put our name in. So theoretically, this should be correct. As I said, this should theoretically be correct, and this is how we'll get this to work. So why don't we go ahead and reset everything. We'll go ahead and establish connection, run this, and then we'll go with web page. There it is. Create documents. We'll call this Pi. And it throws another error. Now, why is this? Why? Oh, okay. It must be a 12-bit input or a 24-bit hex string. Pi is not a valid object ID. It wants hex strings. Okay. It wants hex strings now. Oh. All right then. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, I always remember just putting in my custom ID. So I really think I'm going to have to use insert one if this to allow me to do this. All right, let's try the insert one method. We're going to end up having to use the we're going to have to actually import MongoDB directly in order to do the insert one. I'm a bit surprised that it's not working here though. Actually, I wonder, let me have to look here. Required default object, default is object ID, unique, primary key. Yeah, that's all. All right then. All right. Let's see. Where are you? Yeah, we're going to have to go use MongoDB. MongoDB. This will be insert one. This one right here. We'll just have to import this in. We'll just have to import this into Python. Hey, PyMongo. There we go. Let's see where is. Ew, I wonder. Should we try? Let's not try. I was just thinking maybe I should try and do asynchronous stuff, but maybe we'll wait on that. It would be interesting to do try and implement asynchronous, but let's just get the thing working first. There we go. From PyMongo import Mongo client, and then from here we would then establish a connection. Yeah, you need to annotate. Need type annotation. So it'll be just like this right here. PyMongo, Mongo client. We then establish our client. We define our collection. We'll then do insert one of what it's going to be. Movie happens to be the document. So this would be, the document type. We put in our name, our year. Well, this is what they're doing, but what we would be doing would be our ID and our other information. And then after that, we should theoretically be done. But I honestly think that there's a way to... I'm going to still look. Mongo engine, insert ID. Because I remember that there should be a way to do this. Let's see here, objects insert. Inserts. All right. Let's see here. Mongo. Oh. Let's see here. This was called our web page doc. Objects. Inserts. I wonder if this... I highly doubt it. We're testing it though. Yep, there we go. Operation field background error. Is not valid for an ID specification. Okay. Let's change this up then. Yep, still the same error. Some documents inserted aren't instances of class blah. Wait a minute, is there some... Wait a minute. We're missing something. There you are. All right, come on, let's connect. Rom DB, Rom collection. Oh, we want to connect to this one, thank you. RomDB. Oh wait, the ROM hacks file, the database isn't here now. Because largely because we deleted it, but the idea is that we could. All right. I don't know why it's being a pain in the butt, but it's being a pain in the butt. I'm getting tired of it being a pain in the butt. Let's see. Webpage doc. We'll call this name equals pi. All right then. There's our web page document. We have our files. There's our object name. There's pi. Okay then. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to replace object ID with a. We're trying to replace object ID with our string of interest. Actually, if I just do this. Yeah, it's going to throw an error because it claims that it's not a valid ID. So what I'm going to do now, see object ID. Most likely it'll throw another error, but I'm just trying to figure out exactly what oh, there. Not defined. Pi is not a valid object ID. It must be a 24-character hex string. Okay. Yeah, so it wants me to convert it to a hex. Okay, then. Dot objects dot insert. I do not think that's a function that it has. Missing position argument, doc or docs. Wait a minute. I'm now curious. Web doc. Name will be equal to pizza. We'll call this B as well. So now let's insert B. All right. Refresh. Oh, where's the refresh? There's no refresh button. Okay, let's exit out of that and reload it. It did work, yes. We did, but it didn't set the audit though, which is something that I'm going to have to probably program somewhere else. Well, I mean, just inserting that way it worked. What we should try and do then is, let's see here. What I should try and do then. Let's see here. What we're going to do is now we're going to change this to ID. ID is pizza, and now B or insert B. Pizza is not a valid object ID. It must be 24. Okay. All right, let's change this back. It's kind of like exploration going on here. Let's go ahead and change this. String field. So DB field, it will be equal to, there we go. Let's reestablish our connection. And let's go ahead and start up this. Here it is. Start that up. Run that. Technically, all right. So B is going to equal web page document. ID is going to be equal to French. I think maybe I should stop using food. Maybe I should stop using food as examples. All right then. Now what we'll do is web page doc dot objects dot insert b, and okay, French fries is not a valid hex, is it? Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah, it's still throwing an error. It has to be hexed. All right. Okay, I will have to do some more research into that. I'm going to have to do more research into that and figure it out. There is a way to, it will require me to have to set MongoDB as the backend and then just overlay kind of PyMongo, or the Mongo engine, I should say, over that, so that whenever I call save, instead of using the Mongo engine saving, it's going to use the PyMongo, which would allow for the custom naming. So because of that, what we're going to have to do is just forget about messing with ID. We'll set this. What we'll have to do is just forget about messing with ID for now. Everything will have to be focused around name. The whole reason why I wanted to have it set with the reason why I wanted to have it set with ID is because of the fact that it's going to be the unique identifier. I mean, because then what I could do is go, oh, if the ID, if it existed, then it would either A, overwrite it, or B, it would throw an error. But because of the fact that we're having trouble with it, I'm going to have to write everything based off of examining the name. So, oh, nope, stop barking. Oh. Nope. Stop barking. How about this? You go out, you. Out. Alright. He decided he didn't want to go out. He's just gonna bark instead. Ah, silly dog. Okay. So let's see here. That means we should probably set a validation is fine. Let's see. I'm busy looking. Create doc. Query name. If we do that, return. Create doc. I should probably... Alright, I'm going to hide create doc. What I'm going to do... Oh, okay. Where is this being called? Web services and... Yeah, alright, I'm sorry, web services. You can lose access to. The only way you're going to get that is if you call it through get or create, because that way I can control... That way we can do the query at the beginning. We do the query at the beginning, and then if we have the document, we can... If we have the document, as in there isn't one with that name, then it will pull it forward. If not, then it will create it and then pass it in. That means our web page services as well. Let's see, where's our service? Here. This should be get or create doc with the name. And this will... Oh, it's claiming static. We'll worry about that later. Okay. All right. I wonder how many people have this problem when it comes to Mongo Engine, because I remember in one of the old projects that I worked on, they actually had the exact same problem and they had the exact same problem, because when I was brought in, I had to clean up the database, and they had a lot of object IDs that needed to be deleted and converted into something else. So I definitely know that I'm not the only one who's suffering, who is trying to figure this out. But nonetheless, let's see. All right, what is open? There it is. All right, run U. I think the document should be fine, but we should do a test. So web page document dot get or create. Let's go with pizza. And we got an error. Okay, why did we get an error? There's not a valid ID. This is a PyMongo error too. Oh yeah, if I remember, Mongo Engine isn't over. It is being overlapped, or it inherits PyMongo, so there shouldn't be too much difficulty connecting those. Let's go back and change our document. All right then, and then db field, which will equal. All right. And what else do we need? This is going to be a string. All right, so what else do we need? Name, we're going to set the name. ID is automatic, so we don't have to worry about it. All right. Create document pizza. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see here. Query set. Query object has no... Okay, so this is something completely... This is involving the query. Okay. All right, so this is involving get or create documents, which means it is get query set. Okay, we need to change this to query. Okay, then web page doc dot objects dot query, and we just want to simply find the name when it's going to be pizza. Query set object has no object query. Did I mean underscore? No, I did not mean underscore query. You were working yesterday. Okay, let's hop over here, make sure that Mongo Engine query. It's amazing how these things just like to mess up on you. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I might know what the problem is. We don't need I don't need to use query anymore. All right, there. I think that might be it. There we go. Okay. Did not match objects. Did you intend to use the key value? Yes, I did intend to use the keys. Thank you very much. There we go. Okay, it's working. There's our web page documents. And if we get it, then we're going to return our first document. If we don't, then we'll forget about it. Since this is going to be, since we're using dictionary, we have to define it as keys. All right. This should work. Now then. WebDoc. I would like you to please give me some pizza. I've been... There we go. Okay then. It's working. Let's see here. We have... There we go. Now, let's put in something else. How about we put in apple crumble? Okay. Now then. Now that we've here, refresh. Open. I wish that there was a... Okay, let's close this out and go back in. All right, yeah, apple crumble. There we go. All right. So it's working. So with that in mind, what we can now do is reset this, start up our connection. So we'll go ahead and run that. Now we can, web surface is fine. Let's see, Selenium base, WebDoc. So this should theoretically be fine. Here it is, ROM hacking. Let's run this. Set up our, oh. Okay, let's set up our scraper. Oh, this is the parser. Whoops. There it is, this one. There we go, okay. Let's let it run. All right. There we go, verified. We're in ROM hacking. We're on the, let's go to page 200. There we go. All right, so we're here. Now let's go and run extract ROM hacking data. Now, if it's going to be nice to us, are you going to be nice to us? I am trying to be nice to you. All right, we went to the first page. There we go. And then we went none type. Here we go. Okay, none type is, why is the tag none type? None type object has no attribute tag. All right. Let's see here. Well, we have the web page right here. So it's, actually, where's our web page data? Did I forget to save it? I think we did. I think we did. First things first, let's see here. Yes, I did. I completely forgot to save that data. Okay, let's get that out too. So doc.webpage, let's see here. It should be not audit. It should be just a web page. I'm going to the doc. Web page service. Web page doc. Web type date. Okay, I just call it data. Got it. Okay. So data. All right, and then from here, self dot Selenium driver dot pull. Let's see here. Where is it? I don't think it's pull current page source. That means it's bad naming. Download. Download current web page. There we go. And then from there we can then save it. And apparently our tag is none. So doc.tag is equal to, oh, we're in the wrong section. That's fine right there, but what we want is down here. Here it is. And I think actually I should keep that up there. Yeah, we should keep that up here because we need the web page as well. There we go. Tag right here, ROM hacks. Now the tag, what did we set our tag document as again? Tag is just a string field, so it should be fine. Default. Default should just be blank. All right. So let's get over here real quick. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and run this. All right, so we're at the first page. There we go. And then now we then play the waiting game. It's saved, and there we go. None type. Throw an error. Okay. Tag wrong. None type has no tag. None type object. Oh, I get it. I get it. This is not... Wait, why is this not producing a... Wait a minute. Why is this not producing a document? Let's see here. Where are we? We're in page 1. Are we moving to the next page? What's this page number here? Page 1. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try. Let's just run this code right now. So we go to the first page. We've done that. We now create this document. Our doc. It happens to be blank. Why is it blank? Because I'm not returning anything. Of course it's going to be blank. I need to return something if I want to. Okay, then. Yeah, that explains the problem. All right. So now that we have set that, okay, let's... All right, I have a good feeling now. Okay. Good vibes now, good vibes. We have... I think we've sorted out most of the issues. So now we should be able to just run our code and it should work. Alrighty. That also explains why I didn't save some of the other data. We do a save at the beginning in order to create a document file, and then we start populating the data source afterwards. I might need to change that from automatically saving. I'll have to think about it. Okay then. Now... Okay, run. Go. 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 Work. Work. You can do it. You can do it, Nikki. That is such an old reference. I wonder how many people know about it. All right, we're at page 1. We're now in the wait. Oh, this is going to be a long wait, isn't it? Let's see here. All right, all right. And we went to the second page. Okay, it's working, it's working. Let's hop back. Let's minimize this real quick. Let's go to our database. Let's check web page extractions, and we have... Oh, there it is. There's the first page. Nice. It looks like it's working. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is definitely the fun part. And then there's the second page right there. Okay then. Now let's see here. Oh, there's the refresh button. Nice. I noticed that there's a strange error going on where we're creating... Whoa, look at this. My poor document. We're creating like 3 different documents. Is it every time I save, does it create something new? I hope not. So it's kind of working. We are extracting out the data we want, but we're gonna have to do some cleanup. Let's go ahead and start deleting some of these things. Oh my. So extract 1, and then extract the web page. And then, let's see here. We'll go ahead and get rid of that one, and that one, and this one. This one contains the binary data. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out why this is doing this. I have a strange suspicion it's because of the ID. I have a very strange suspicion it's because of the fact that it's an issue involving the fact that the ID is being auto-generated. Oh yeah, this one has our data, so we don't want to mess with that. But we can extract this one, or delete this one here. There we go. And then what happens if we refresh? Oh my, yeah. Okay, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I do not know why it's... Yeah, as I said, I don't know why it's duplicating. We'll have to figure out why. But the scraping part is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we've managed... So it's working. It's kind of working. It's kind of working. Okay, then. I have as I said, I have a strong suspicion it is every time I click save, isn't it? So let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why I have save. Yeah, it is. It is exactly. Every single time we run the save function, it creates a brand new document. So if I deleted save here, and then I went into create document and I deleted the save here, then we would not have any troubles. However, that just makes it a pain in the butt because we don't want this to happen. We don't want to create a new file every time we say save. So we will have to define the ID. Maybe I can use the... All right. We've been putting this off. Okay, then MongoDB. We've been in the core scrapers. This is technically not a core file. This is going to be utility. Okay, then utils. And then we'll call this utils binary. All right. Okay, let's start with this. All right then. So we need to start generating IDs. So so what do we... There it is, hash. Let's import hash. All right. Let's see here. Oh, so let's see. Where are you? As SSH3. Wait, there's a third version of this? What's the difference between SSH3 and normal SSH? We'll need 256. We will need 256. So this will be string to hash. And this will simply be our string. Oop. Yeah, that's the right one. Yes. 256. I think we'll also need to do a string to hex. Let's see, hex 16. Let's see, they claimed it was 24, which was that, so hex 24. All right then. And this will return it should be a binary, right? It's going to still be a string, mind you. It's just going to be the... All right then. Now where's hex? Blank T, SH8. All right. I think I'm going to have to do the hex conversion myself. All right then. Let's see here. Oh, should we custom write it ourselves, or should we find a package that does it automatically? Or should I just see about importing in SHA as our ID? Oh. Oh. Why are you complaining? Unresolved function return outside of function. Oh. Oh, I see. There's the problem. There we go. Typo. There we go. Okay. And this is, as I mentioned, this should not be a string. This should be a expected a string got a hash. Okay. Expected a buffer got a string. All right, this is returning a hash. So go ahead and just convert this to a string afterwards. There we go. All right. Now as for the hex. As for the hex, I wonder if there is a library that allows us to just do hex. Because I really don't want to program it myself. Python to hex 24. Oh, not 23, 24. They just have a hex. Wait, it's that easy? It's that easy? Apparently it's that easy. Okay, let's... But wait, I always remember having to convert it into binary. I first converted it to a bunch of zeros and ones, and then I would do the calculations and to convert it back into a hexadecimal. What you would do is you would you take your whatever your data is, you would convert it into numerical data, and whenever there was above a character limit, which would be 26, you would then take the remainder, and from there you could then convert it all into a binary string. And then from that binary string, then you could start taking the again, you could start taking your how many of the bits, you know, the zeros and ones, which would equal whatever you're converting it to. It would be hex or 16 or 32 or whatever. And then from there, you would then convert it back. And for the hex, it would be, you just convert it to the number, the alphanumeric values, which would be 0 to 9 and then A to F. But if you wanted to change it to a number, then you would, it would, again, remainders. You would involve the remainders and such. So I want to test this out. So hex of, we'll call this apple pie. And yeah, okay, it throws an error. I figured as much. Must be an integer. Okay then. So that means I might still have to do that. Okay then. All right then. So I'm busy thinking. We might need a dictionary. So this will be the Benedict. And this would happen to be a... Oh, I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of the best way of writing this. I think the best way to write this would be integer to string. In which case, we would simply, it would simply be something along this lines. This is kind of why I said I didn't want to write it. Oh. Because the idea here is that, well, the idea is that here, is that if we have a number, there we go. So yeah, the idea here is that if we have a number, let's say it's 125, and we want to convert this to binary. So to binary, then how we would do that is we would take our number. Let's see here. So, oh, I'm trying to, oh, I forgot. I remember you had to go through each of the points. So if this was a string, it would be a bit easier because then you could just simply go in, convert it to an integer, and then the first one, divide by whatever your number is, and then step, step, step. I bet. Let's just go grab it. I remember where we can find it. Python 2-bit. There we go, converting. Oh, these are not what I was looking at. Oh my. These do not look familiar at all. Oh, they do not. There's a bin function, but it doesn't work because I want, let's see here. Python, let's see here. 16-bit to binary, or to, there it is, 16-bit binary to conversion. And nope, that's not it. Where is that code that was used? Well, here's what I was trying to explain, but failed miserably at. Convert. Let's see here. All right. That's looking more familiar. There it is. That's looking a bit more familiar. But we're not making it just dividing by 2. 2 is making it a binary. But if we want to change it to 16-bit or 32-bit, we would need to change this number to a different value. All right, so let's see here. So while n is greater than 0, no, I don't, still not the same. Still not the same. Bin ASCII hexify, you think? Oh, okay, let's look that up. Oh, hey, there you go. All right, changed in 3.8. I think you might be right. This might be it. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Oh, this would be so much nicer if I don't have to write it myself. Let's see here. Base 64. Unhexify. Unhexlify. Hexlify. Oh, okay, let's type it. Let's try this. This looks like it's... Nope. It requires a bit like object. Okay. Oh, if it's a bit like object, that means, let's see here. Bits per sep. Okay. Then that means it should be like this. Of course it doesn't like that. Anyway. How is our extraction going? It's going pretty well. Yes, you're right. I do need to do that. I need to set it to a binary. There we go. Okay. I need to encode it. Okay then. But if that's the case, I think I can probably just do string.encode at that point. Let's see here. Let's actually just try that. Hexlify, and then we'll type in hi encode. There we go. Okay. Yeah. There we go. This will be a binary. This will return a binary though. Oh, that is so much easier than me having to write this all out again. So yeah. And that means that we actually saves us a bit of time here as well. So if that's now then, let's see here. Where's our services? Here. Create documents. So from our name, here we'll then go with doc dot id is going to equal, and then from here we're going to bring in our util. So util binary dot, we're going to hexify, so string to hex. There's not hex 24, mind you. It's name. All right. Let's see here. This should be utils binary. All right. So I wonder if that will work. I wonder. I still don't think that this is a... We can still try it, but I don't think it will be the hex 24 that it needs. See, where are you? Hexify, here we go. Bits per separator. Returns a returns a hexadecimal representation of the binary data. Every bit of data is converted into a corresponding 2-digit hex representation, and returned bytes objects is therefore twice as long as the data of length. Similar functionality, but returning the text string. Is also conveniently accessible using the bytes.hex method. If separate is specified, it must be a single character string object and must be inserted in the output after each bits per sep. I see. All right. So yeah, that's kind of not what we're looking for. And the unhexify will just convert it back. Let's see here. bson dot object ID. There it is. Object ID. Hex 24. I'm curious about this thing. When Mongo creates a new bson compatibility, objects for inquiries can be created using object ID methods. Create from base64, create from hexstring, and create from time. Assuming your product ID is a hexstring format, it can simply replace object ID. So this might actually work. Okay then. We should try that. All right then, we should try that. Let's try it after we're done extracting our data. Oh, we're done extracting our data. How is it looking over here? I think it's going to look horrible. 100, yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks a bit bad. Yep, all the data. All the data. The data is ours. Ahaha. I just need to do a bit of cleaning because of this error, this silly error. But I think it should be fine, especially as we're trying to fix the ID issue. So, let's see here. Yeah, I will clean the database after stream. I don't think everyone wants to watch me just hit the delete button over and over again. So let's go ahead and see about our ID issue. But this is quite good. We have so many data points. Nice, nice. Okay then. So first things first. Oh, I see auto ID right there. Interesting. I wonder what that is. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and we've done scraping. So theoretically our scraper is done. We don't, from here at this point, we can just simply quit the session. There we go. Yeah, we grabbed what we want. We can come back tomorrow, grab some data. That's the whole idea of scraping, the scraping system, because then we theoretically, we won't be straining the resources too much and they won't ban us. That's pretty much it. But from here, let's go ahead and restart. Let's go ahead and I will mess with that as well. Let's run web page doc. And let's go ahead and see here, web page doc dot create document. We'll call you banana smoothie. It's saved. Okay, let's go to actually, let's see here. Let's go to, I think because I deleted them, I have to do the save manually now. There we go. Okay, it's saved. Let's go here, check it out. So 104 at the very end. And okay then, did it work? It's very hard to tell if it worked. Yeah, it's very, very hard to tell if it worked because the object ID looks the same as like the other ones. It should have worked because we changed the base doc, didn't we? Yeah, right here we changed it to input the ID as a name. How about this? Let's go ahead and do this again. We'll call banana smoothie. We will save. Now then, let's see here. Did it add in an extra file? If it didn't, then we know it worked. Oh. Where's the... There it is. And it added in another banana smoothie. Okay, it did not work. Okay, that's not working. All right, well, poo on you. Wait a minute. Ah, yeah, it's now made a reference. It made a, that explains the auto ID 0. It's referencing the previous one. Yeah, we really don't want this because this is just going to make this is just going to bloat our database. All right, then. All right. So it's still causing a bit of issues, which is very, very annoying. Okay, so let's... It's all, it stems from, we just want to insert in our data then. All right. Import PyMongo. Okay, from PyMongo. Let's see here. So Rom Database dot, well, it's not data collection dot, there's our object IDs, iterator type var, let's see, pymongo.database. Let's see here, collection, synchronous, common, cursor. Oh, I wonder if we might need to use cursor. Because then we can point to where we want to go. Alright, I'm going to have to look up more about that. I'm going to have to read up more about PyMongo. My PyMongo knowledge is a little bit dry. So I'm going to work on the... While I read that later today, I'll read up on it off stream so that I can figure that out. Because you'd think that it would be simple, but it's not being friendly. I'm going to work on the part that I have a little bit more confidence in, and that's the parser. All right. So let's see here. So there's the data. This is the for parsing. We'll put this before the ROM hack page. So we'll define, and then we will generate ROM hack list. There we go. And this will provide us a list of everything. Now from here, we're going to go self.web service. Now from here, we need to we need to add more to the web service. So right now we just have creating documents. Now we need to query them. So this will be, let's see here, query collection. In this case, this would be the actual query. There we go. And then this will return a list of web docs, like so. Let's make sure that let's make sure our typing is in. There we go. There's our typing. Now, web page doc, objects. And then this will be our query. We'll go ahead and return that. Maybe we'll put a log in there at some point. Okay, then from here, let's go ahead and grab this out. Let's see here, parser. Where's the parser? Where's our parser? Here it is. Here's our parser. Okay, then let's go down here. That. Since this is going to be, we're going to be querying for this, so we want to get the tag. So this will be simply our tag. And this will be ROM hacking, which means we're going to have to change this to like an enum type of situation. Because for data integrity's sake, we need to set this to like an enum or something. So we'll just call it ROM hack. All right then, so let's do a quick test back over here in our document, in our service. All right, I'm gonna get rid of it. Here it is. Okay, that's not it. Here it is. Okay then. So let's go ahead and set up a query. We'll call this tag. This will be ROM hack. Then from here, we can then run the query and it comes back as nothing. So how much do you bet it's because of the... It has an S, ROM hack. Again, data integrity. We need to make sure that... Data integrity. I need to set these things so that they're enums. That way I don't have to engage my brain. All right then. There we go. Okay then. So let's go back to our parser. ROM hacks. So this will now be our... This will be the ROM hack pages. This will be a list of Mongo documents. Oh, this will be a list of web page doc. There we go. Then from here, this will be, I'll call this RH page because I'm getting tired of writing it out. For that in ROM hack pages, RH page dot, and we'll want to get the, it should be data. Oh, or we'll decode the data, data.decode. All right, and this should be the web page. Actually, let me think. Didn't I write a function for this already? Let's see here. Web page doc. I don't think I did I? Where? Save, audit, all docs, create documents. I don't see data in the base doc, so yeah, it's not here. That means it has to be in the web page doc. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. All right. So we should probably define a function which we get web page. And then this will be I want to convert it out into, well, I know why we didn't do it earlier. The question is what's the... All right. Okay, we'll get out our string. We will get out the string right here. And then we'll just simply convert it. We'll just convert it here. So web page. There we go. And then last but not least, lhtml dot xpath. And then from here, we just need to find our file. So let's quickly hop back over here. ROM hacking. Here we are. ROM hacks. This is the page. Let's grab here. Sort. We have ourselves a T-body tape. Oh, yeah, that, I kinda, okay then. Let's see here. T-body. Okay. Is that the only T-body? I think that might be the only T-body. Let's look for T-body. Particularly everything that's after T-body. Or no, we'll find T-body. We'll find T-body. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's grab this. ROM hacking pages. All right. There we go. Oh. ROM hacking pages is not oh. I call it ROM hacking pages. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, this should be ROM hack pages. Yes, ROM hack pages, there we go. There. Oh, and it wants me to import in these. Oh. But that should be... We should already have HTML, so we can run that. Then if we go for this, right here, there's the element right there. Nice. That should theoretically be the only... Yep, that is the only one. All right. Now the question I have is... let's see here. Read XML. I wonder. Would this be fine? Or is it going to complain at me? I think it would complain at me. I do. Yeah, it complained at me. So I need to probably convert that to a string or to something else. I mean, theoretically, I could probably just pass in the file. Let's see here. This should be... I'm looking... there it is, webpage. We need to provide a... It's looking for LXML. Oh my, so why did it not... Alright then, if that's the case... Attribute enter. It failed to parse the document. Let's see here. If I have to, we'll read the HTML file. If you... let's see here. Okay, so it just doesn't like the XML for some reason. I wonder why. I'll have to figure out why it's not liking it. Let's see here. Where can I inspect you, please? Let's see here. It throws an error. Depreciate. Oh, depreciated. All right. Passing a literal HTML will be depreciated in future releases. To return a literal string, wrap it in string.io. Okay. Okay, they're changing that up. Got it. So A happens to be it's a list of lists. A bit surprised it didn't turn it into a data frame. Oh, why are you being a pain in the butt? Yeah, it turned it literally into a string of strings. And they're going to depreciate that, so we don't... So... Yeah, they're going to depreciate this. Let's see here. IO, so that's... match, flavor, or convert, and A, keep header... store options. I'm a bit surprised that's... Okay, I'm a bit surprised that's... Alright, let's hop over real quick to there. Boy, I'm hopping into the internet all the time today. Pandas, read HTML. Or actually, we should check out read XML. Why are you throwing such an error, you? Yeah, why are you throwing such an error, you? Iter sparse. Is it all because of the IO streams? I'm beginning to wonder if it has to do with the IO stream. That would be very interesting if that's the case. I'm curious. Let's try it. Import string.io. All right. Actually, let's see here. Where is string.io? String.io. There you go. Python version compatibles. Your source code imports the 6 package. Would you like to enable code compatibility inspection? I don't remember string.io being part of the 6. Yeah, I remember it being just part of the IO system. Yeah, there it is, right there. Oh, it is 6. Okay. There we go. IO. Okay, let's go ahead and import this in. There we go. pd.readxml. Then there'll be string.io. And this will happen to be our... Where are you? LHTML. And then from here, it will say that web is not a HTML element. Initial value must be a string, not an HTML element. Well, excuse me for trying to... That just makes you even more confusing because you throw an error when I pass in an HTML element. Yeah, okay. All right, let's... All right. We're going to just go ahead and parse you here. And it's still a... Let's see here. It claims it's a list of all things. Oh. All right. PD dot... Oh, let's see here. This is not an HTML. It's not an XML. It's not a JSON. It's just a table, or it's just a list. A list of a list. Part of me wants to make it explode. Let's see here. Must pass 2D element input. All right. Let's see here. How do I just convert it to HTML directly? Because it pretty much knows what it is. Read HTML. Extract no, display no, converters, keep data, encoding, attributes, skip rows, header. No. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Before using the function, you should read the gotchas about the HTML parsing libraries. Okay. What are the gotchas? The latex XML. We're looking for the HTML one. HTML, where are you? HTML, where are you? There. Read HTML. It returns a list of data frame objects. A list of data frame objects. Okay, then. Even if there is a single table. Okay, that explains a lot. All right, then. I know what to do now. Now that I know the typing... Okay, yeah, now that I know the typing, I know what I want to do. Okay. So let's get here. Where are you? So we're right here. For now, we're going to ignore that. We'll do pd.read HTML. Read HTML. String IO. And we'll say web page. Oh. I don't know what that is, but we want the web page. There we go. And then this will be the temp list. This will be a list. Oh. This is a list of data frames. A list of pandas data frames. And then from here, we will then do a... Pretty much we're going to go through the list and concatenate everything. So for temp in temp list, it'll be pd.concat. Hey, Ansel, how's it going? Well, we've managed to do our parsers, and now we are, well, sorry, we did our scraper, and now we're doing our parser. We've been having a little bit of difficulty with the database side because it keeps wanting to make brand new IDs. So I need to go in using Mongo engine and change it up so that it will. You're grinding leak code? That sounds fun. All right, pd concat. We'll call this the combined database or data frame. This will be a data frame. And we'll go ahead and just make an empty one. There we go. And then from here, we'll just simply do that. Let's see here, that. And then temp. There we go. And then we should, I think we should also ignore index. There we go. So now if we run this, and oh yeah, we need to import our typing. Thank you very much. There we go. And then combined df should now be our data frame. Here it is. There we go. We can now view it. There we go. Oh, nice. There we go. All right. Here's all our data. Okay. Nice, nice. So we have title, released by, original. So yeah, that's everything. So the only thing that's really missing here are the HTML file or the URLs. Yeah, I know. Okay then. So while we're at it, I wonder, this is where we can get a bit creative. I wonder if when we parse out our HTML file, so let's get back over to, here it is, pandas. So parsing read HTML, attributes. What is attributes? This is a dictionary of attributes that can pass to use to identify the table in the HTML. Ah, no, okay, that's not what we need. What we're looking for is to pull out additional data. Match, no. Flavor, header, no. Column index, no. Extract links right here. Extract links. So let's see here. Where is the... All right, come on. Where are you, function? Where are you? Index, flavored, match. There it is. Okay. Table elements that specify of specified sections with A tags will have their href extracted. Now the question is our data being stored as in that fashion? And the answer is yes, it is. It is being stored in that fashion. So let's set that to true. Let's see here. Extract links we can set to all, header, body, or footer. We're going to do all. So let's get back over to our here. Here it is. Extract links, and we'll set this to all. Now let's try and run this. We have, let's see here. How does this look? And okay, I see what happened here. It worked like a charm here because we have that, but it kind of messed up the other files, but that's fun. What am I looking for? So I'm collecting out, what I want to do is I want to easily generate a table of all the data. So what we have just done, if you load up our, right here, not that one. If you load up right, where are you? Here. As you can see here, we have these files. We've collected all the data from these. So these tables, all 42 of them, we extracted. And now what we want to do is we want to access all the data from here and just collect them. I believe, yeah, it doesn't define headers here. So we'll have to do some column cleanup afterwards. But the idea is that we've extracted our data. We're then going to pull out the tables. I'm trying to write it so that I don't have to go through line by line. I might have to go through line by line. If we wanted to, I could. Actually, rather than playing with pandas, maybe we should do it line by line. It would definitely save me having to do multiple for loops together. We can convert it to a data frame afterwards. So why don't we do this? If that's the case, we need to define out what the table is. So we already defined this one out. Release by category platform. I'm going to... Yeah, this is why I didn't want to do it, because... Alright. Right. Okay. Let's see here. I know. I'm going to first make it a bit easier on myself. Let's go back here. Let's prevent extracting of the data. Let's go ahead and run this. All right, combine df. Let's go ahead and get the columns. All right, there we go. So this is all the information that's available. I'm going to copy that. We'll go ahead and toss it up here for now. This will be known as the ROM table list. This is just a list of strings. This is a final list, mind you. This isn't changing, so we don't need people trying to mess with it. There we go. So that's the name of all of the files. So now we have that. What we can now do is we'll forget about this. We'll forget about U2. We have our that page. We'll convert it to it. We'll convert it here. All right. Web page. All right, then lhtml.xpath. We're going to be looking for the... Let's see here. We're theoretically just looking for the body, but seeing as how we can just use basic... we can use the XML to figure this out. We just want to look for TD. Or, better yet, TR. Yeah, we want to find TR. So we'll go tbody TR. We'll pull all the TRs out. So... Alright then. So this will be tbody TR. And this will give us a list of elements. So this will be the L HTML list. Oh, this should be an HTML element, mind you, not a web element. There we go. That one. And then from here, we'll simply go for, we'll call this the Rom L HTML. All right, for Rom LHTML in LHTML list. And we'll need to create a dictionary, or we'll create a list file. So we'll call this the ROM list. This will be a list of dictionaries, which will be strings followed by strings. There we go. Now for this, what we're going to then do now is when we pull this out, it will give us another HTML. So from here we can do rom lm HTML, and then and then this would be a XPath. Let's see here, and I think the way that they define it in their, the way they define it here is, it's all column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Though they have the name and they have a name in there. Title, released by, original game, genre, platform. And I believe that's the same for all of them. Yes, it is. It's for all of them. So with that in mind, yeah, for that in mind, we can simply extract these out. Yeah, we can do a basic extraction. Ideally, it's going to be another for loop, but pretty much we would run through here and run through this, and pretty much if this is in there, then extract it out. There's some easier ways to do it than others. I think what I will do is, all right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and write this in. We'll want to keep it we'll want to keep this within our current frame. This will be TD. I just forgot. Is it TD? No, it's TR. Okay. No, it is TD. Yeah, we want TD. Yeah, TD. TD text. Like that. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and run this. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll break it first. There we go. ROM HTML is not defined. Oh, why is it not defined? It has nothing in there. All right. Why do you have nothing in there? Oh, it's because I forgot to put that. Okay. There we go. That should be correct. Yes, there we go. That is correct. Okay. And then from here we'll go ahead and all right, I guess that's fine. We'll look at the last one. So from here we have ROM HTML. Let's go ahead and do the XPath for this. Let's grab that. Let's go ahead and input this in. And there we go. So we have The Great Ben, Breath of Fire, role-playing, Super Nintendo. So I think that might be, let's see, what are we we're missing, yeah, we're missing the title. Okay. So apparently because it's none, it just ignored it. All right, that's fine, This will be good. So that means if we go up here, we get rid of title. So that should equal what we get from here. Yeah, this is a bit... We're going to have to make this more definitive. So we'll work... Let's get something up and working, and then we will improve it as we move along. But from here... Let's see here. So this will be the detail. This will be general details. So this will be a list of strings. There we go. And then from here, okay. So I know what we want to do here. We'll call this Rom Data. Did I use this already? No, I did not. All right. All right then, string. And then this will be KV for KV in zip. And then this will be from our, let's see here, ROM table list. And general details. There we go. Oh, okay. We need to define it in the self. Let's see here. You. There. Oh, yeah. Self is not defined. Okay. There we go. I defined you. And I don't have... There we go. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and run these. So now we have ROM data, which has released by original game, genre. Yep, that is correct. And then the last thing we want to do is, if we remember, if we go to ROM HTML .xpath. In this case, we're looking for TD A text. This should be there's the name. All right. Or we'll go ahead and set that to 0 for now. So ROM data. Title, and then ROM data, and then this will be the URL. Oh. And this will be the, as I said, this will be the URL. And we're theoretically copying the same thing right here, except this time, instead of text, it's at href. So if I run all of this now, we'll keep it here. This, there we go. We should now have a list. Oh wait, we didn't add it. Oh, let's okay, let's add it to our list. There we go. And then last but not least, what we'll do is we will... all right, right here. Right here for now. Yeah, right here for now. Okay, so this will be the data frame. So we'll call this ROMDF. And this is going to be a data frame, as I mentioned. Data frame, and this will be the ROM list. All right. Now if we run all this, where are you, ROMDF? There you are, ROMDF. View the data frame, So here we go, and there it is. There's the title. There's all of the URLs. Nice, okay. So now that we have all of that information, if I go into, okay, this is going to throw off. This is going to throw off errors. These extra things are just going to cause nothing but trouble. I really need to get the ID thing situated. Yeah, I really need to get the ID situation fixed because it's going to cause nothing but turmoil. I'm a bit surprised that it didn't just save right where I wanted to. It actually created a brand new web document, which is... that means that there was some magic voodoo going on in the previous database I was working on that I was not privy to. Most of my knowledge is in SQL databases. I've been working with SQL for, oh god, since it... Man, how long have I been working with SQL databases? I know the very first one I did was for tracking transgenic models in a lab. Mongo engine, I've only been working with it for about a year and a half, so there's a lot I don't know about Mongo engine. It's quite amazing how you think you know enough, and then boom, suddenly you find out there's an entire dictionary of stuff that you just are unaware of. All right, who wants to just put in a I have an idea. This, because I said that's going to take forever. I'll fix it later. I'm going to do this. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and get the right here. If RH page dot web page, or not web page, web type, or data. If RF data is none, then continue. All right, let's run this. Oh wait, we have to do one other thing. This will be the complete Rom DF. All right, and then from here, we'll just create an empty data frame. Now, after we run the initial for loop, so let's see here, we run through, we then combine all that together. We should then, right here, complete ROMDF, and then this will equal pd.concat. I don't know why they changed it to concat. I really don't know why they changed it to concat. They used to have a function called append, where you could just take a data frame, start appending to it as much as you want, and then they depreciated it like a couple years ago. I don't know why. It was so useful. I use that everywhere, and then it was such a pain in the butt. I had to convert everything to this awkward concat function. Okay then, so we'll want to okay then, and then here we'll have ROMDF, and then we'll simply ignore our index. There we go. Okay. So now that we've done this, if we run this entire code line, we should get an error. No, we don't get it. Oh, we don't get an error. Okay, we have that. So where is our complete DF now? Here it is. Oh. And there we go. We now have a full list of all of the ROMs that were released and are currently on RomDB or romhacking.net. These are all the hacks. We need to do the same thing for the translations. But from here, we also now have the original game. So if from this, what we can potentially do is start linking this to our ROM information. So let's see, let's pick an easy one. It's called Super Mario Bros. Let's check out no intro. Here we are, no intro. Super Mario Bros. Here's the new 3DS, DS, Nintendo Entertainment System right here. Oh my, they have both headerless and headered. I actually don't know what versions of mine, what version of the game do I have? Which one does that old Retron 5 generate? In order to get Nintendo game, so in order to use the collection that I have in Hong Kong, I had to painstakingly go find all of the different ways to extract data from the collection that I have. I mean, Hong Kong if you've ever been to Hong Kong apartments are super tiny. They're really, really small. A bedroom is the size of a closet in the United States. So we're talking about very, very limited space here. And I don't have enough space to hold on to a massive game collection. So I have all of that hiding away somewhere in some whatever they're called. They store boxes for you. And I needed to extract all the data. For the CD-based games, it's very easy. You can extract PlayStation perfectly fine. Just throw it into your computer. Xbox was a little bit more of a pain in the butt because you needed to find the proper drive to do it. But it's still not that difficult once you find it. Hey, Vicky. How's it going? Nintendo Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, you just really need some of these older consoles. Like, I'm trying to think because it's not the Retron 5, but there was a repo console that was released where you could take the data and put it to an SD card so you could use it later. I just forget what the name is called. But there are many ways to extract data. And I remember because back on okay, so the reason why I comment on this is because of the fact that I want to share my pain. I want to share my pain with my Wii games. So back on the Wii U. So if you remember the Wii U, it can play Wii games. It's very easy to do that. But it could not play GameCube. For some reason, the Wii was not compatible with playing GameCube games. However, there was a drive would you call it an emulator? It was more of a compatibility layer. It was called Nintendo. Or actually, I think the replacement was called Nintendo. Yeah, the replacement was called Nintendo. What was the other one? Because I remember it requires you to rip your games, and then you had to authenticate it, and then you had to transfer the authentication over, because the person who created it, it was Devolution. There it was. It was Devolution. That one. This was the original only way to play your GameCube games, and you had to authenticate it, which was a giant pain in the butt, because when I finally made it to Hong Kong, I spent the hours extracting all of my Wii games. I had a lot of them, so it took forever. I extracted them. I made sure to authenticate them, transfer over the authentication key so that I could play them on the Wii U. And guess what? My hard drive, it died. The hard drive died, and because the idiot who wrote that, okay, he's not really an idiot. He's a super genius because he wrote this, but I'm calling him an idiot because it's so aggravating. He decided that because if I'm tying authentications to hard drive, all of the data that I extracted for the Wii could not be, I couldn't just, I had to re-authenticate it. But the Wii is off in the United States. So I have all the data and I just can't do anything with it now. I was so angry. Oh, I was so angry about that. I was so glad when Nintendo finally updated. When Nintendo updated so that it could run without having to validate your encryption. or validate your files. Oh, that was a godsend. I could actually start I could play my games again. But yeah, Nintendo, awesome compatibility layer for playing GameCube on the Wii and Wii U. Oh, and the VWii. I never owned a VWii, so I never. But anyway, enough about that. So yeah. The main point here is that I need to find out what my, off on that tangent, I need to find out which version did my rip for the Nintendo games. Which one was it? Let's check out this version for now. What we're trying to see is what the name is. And the name happens to be, okay, it's going to have the region information involved. It has location like USA, dungeons. That means we can't just draw a direct one-to-one comparison, does it? I don't think we can. No, we can't. Yeah, it has Europe and all that. So that means pretty much that for our data, this is going to be useful in we're going to be using string search in order to find this, but we're still going to have to kind of go through the database. I bet I know why. This also means that we're going to have to extract out the gaming side of this as well. So if you notice each of these are the links to the hacks, which are here. But for these, we will have to probably, when we go into the ROM hack file. So let's go into one so I can show you. Here we go. Back to romhacking.net. We'll go into one of these. So here we can actually click on here and go to game. So we'll have to extract the game section as well. So let's go here and go in there. So yeah, we'll have to extract the game section as well. It gives me a variety of information like the publisher, the platform, the genre. This information will help when it comes for searching. But I think for the ROM hack data, we're going to have to focus purely on the ISO information. And that's not even a guarantee. That's not even a guarantee because of the fact that we found earlier that some of these don't even provide the ISO information. They just say, yo, this exists. So we'll have to figure out what to do with that. But yeah, all this data, we'll still have to extract the data from here. Actually, seeing as how... All right, let's do this. Let's go to games. The table is identical. Look at this. Platform, adventure, the date. All right. I noticed that the dates are not... the dates aren't purely dates. There's some of them that are missing times, or some are missing days, some are missing months, some are missing both. If I organize this, how is it going to look? Unreally, and there's text too. So yeah, there's also text. So we'll have to keep an eye on a mind to that. Yeah, and there's also, it's all right, and it's also okay. Once the months come in, then at least it looks like there's a bit more. It makes a bit more sense. October, I don't see any Okay, I don't see any numbers, so date parsing should not be too difficult. We'll just have to write some exceptions for there. But because this is the same, what we can do is we can also set this to 200. There we go. Let's see, what's the different page is games. Okay then. You know what that means? Oh, you know what that means? That means we can theoretically use the exact same code we just did. Let's see here. where is our scraper? Here. Up. Hacks. There it is. Page. There it is. Okay, so we changed that. So we're going to call this the URX. So let's see. Here. This is now going to be the, we'll call this page. There we go. And then from here we'll have ROM hack page. But we'll call this games, or game page. Then ROM hack page. Oh. Hack page. And then I noticed that I missed an H. This will be ROM hack. Thank you very much. And I think this should be translation page, like so. I think that might be everything. So final string, and this happens to be games. We should do a quick check to see what the we should do a quick check. There we go. All right. All right. So now we have that. This should be changed to hacks. Now let's go check out translation real quick, see what the page name is called. Translations. It's called translations. All right, good to know. Good to know. There we go. Translations. Anything else? Maybe we should, since it seems like it might be a little bit easier, maybe we should go for utilities as well. They have, oh, homebrew. Oh, we can't forget homebrew. Oh yeah, we can't forget homebrew. Homebrew, the fan games for the consoles. Or other stuff, but yeah, I feel sorry for them. We're gonna have to, again, homebrew page. Again, we're going to make this as friendly as possible. There we go. Yeah, we're going to make this as friendly as possible so that we're not over swamping them. And since we're going to be saving a lot of the pages to our own database, accessing them will be very limited. Because let's face it, I theoretically don't have to access the web page anymore for accessing the ROM hacking information. I have it all stored already. And all I need to do is write a potential layer later where it'll say, find the last ROM name, like find the last ROM hack that we were looking for. So if you can find this ROM hack, then don't worry, or, stop scraping. So yeah, we theoretically don't have to hit them anymore because we've already extracted everything. All right, so what's left? What's left? Homebrew fonts. Wait, there's a font list? There is a font list. What is this? Oh wow, okay, this is fun. What format are these? This would be fantastic to use actually if we want to use this somewhere. Let's see here. These look like they're all right. They're all over the place. Oh, here we go. Width and height. They're all pretty standard. This is variable width. Okay. Legend of Mana. THEO. Oh, wonder. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's see here. They have language. All right. What fun languages do they have? They have Greek, Vietnamese, Thai, Scottish. Scottish. No Scottish. Okay. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Chinese? No Chinese either. All right. No Chinese either. Spanish. Okay, now I'm beginning to feel disappointed. Why do you have a whole list of languages if you don't have any? English. Where is English? There's English. All right, so yeah, I guess the majority is English. This just means we need to put an effort into making more language fonts. Yeah, actually, I think 90%. It was 168, 186. Yeah, the majority is English. All right. I don't think we need these. I really don't. They are not games. They're not hacks either. Abandoned. That's something different. So utilities. Technically, this is something. We would probably need this because we'll need this. We'll need to grab the utilities as well. All right. Let's go ahead and put this in here. All right, and we're going to change this to utilities. And just because I'm a goober. Just because I'm a goober. We're gonna put fonts here anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna put fonts here anyway. We're not going to extract it, but fonts, there we go. Okay, good. The main thing here is this will be part of the tag. So that's exactly what this is going to be part of. So now we have this. We now have, it's no longer downloading ROM hack. This is going to be download table data. Download table data. We're going to input in. So we're going to input in. This will be the, this will be the table name, or we'll call this the page name string. And I actually think that might be it, because what we can now do here is page is going to equal page name, but then also page name can go here like so, and then from that, then what we can do here is start defining. So this will be define extract ROM hacks. There we go. And then self extract table page. And then we'll just input in our this. There we go. And then define extract translations. And this will be the exact same thing, except now we're going to put in the translation page. There we go. You can kind of see what I'm doing here, because the idea is now that we'll simply call these, and also we should probably let's see here. We need to log this. So let's go ahead and log this as well. Let's see. We could put the log here. Actually, we probably should put it there. We should put the log down here. So this will be extraction complete. Let's see here. This will be the page. And we'll call this the page name. And then the total extracted. There we go. And I guess from here, I can't believe I'm enumerating a range. This looks really dumb. There we go. Because eventually what we're going to be putting in here is a, let's see here. So we'll put here an if statement eventually. So to do add if statement that looks for prior extracted data. If found, then quit loop. So that. So this is one reason why. But then from here, we can then simply put in our IDX, like so. And we'll also have to define it early. So IDX is going to be an int. There we go. And we should set that to what? Well, enumerating is going to set it to 0. So we'll do IDX. We'll put a +1 here for now. There we go. Okay. There we go. We'll call this total pages extracted. There we go. Okay, so we're logging it now. We know what page we know what page source we're going for. We know how many pages we've extracted. We've currently set it up so that we can extract out across these. All right, so, and then this will be homebrew. There we go. And then last but not least, I think we'll go with 4 for now. There we go. And then this last one will be utilities. There we go. All right. Okay. So now we have it that we can extract all of it. Oh, okay. So this is our, we should probably separate these out a bit. So let's go ahead and do this. So that is our extraction tools, and this will be the ROM download. So we'll call this the ROM download functions, or ROM info download functions. And then this will be the table extraction functions. There we go. Okay. There. All right. And then then download main. This is the main page. Technically, we don't need this now because of the fact that we don't really have a sitemap. I think the idea of, we'll repurpose this. I think what we'll do is we'll try and repurpose this. So repurpose to download recent pages. There we go. All right, so we'll do that. That should help theoretically with also, yeah, that should actually, let's start doing that now while we're at it. So the reason why I comment on that is because if you go to ROM hacking, they have sections, changes. Here it is, changes. Oh, they have latest on all of them. All right. So we want to work on these things because this would actually be a great way to be able to automatically update the data, because we'll know when an update occurred, we'll know who submitted the update, we'll know, what it's for. So in this case, this is translations. But then they also, this is the most important list right here. Last updated page. Because now, look at this. I can now actually know when, what has been updated and where. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's quite fun. Let's see here. Tayuku Shirai Soul Brain. Apparently it was updated into Arabic. Oh, this is fun. That is quite fun. I have no clue what this game is, though. It's in Arabic now. And Portuguese. Battle Network 2. Oh my, Battle Network 2. Anyone who's in Portugal is going to have a lot of fun with this. Oh yeah. Actually, do they have... Let's see. This is what I'm talking about. The Dragon's Crown was... I had downloaded this patch a while ago, and it claims that it updated. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we need to download this page. So let's see here. ROM Hacking Net submissions. And then this is extra. Okay, we're going to need that title. What about utilities? All right. Axe. Okay, so it's ext, then the page, and then submissions. That's how they set it up. I think utilities is a little bit different. Yeah, they just call it utils, but here they call it utilities. Yeah, so that's a little bit different. I wonder why they did it that way. And then latest documents. So no new documents. All right. So mainly these three. All right. So let's go ahead and grab this. This is the extension we need. So let's see here. This will be the... All right, then. Oh, we'll put it down below here. So this will be ROM hack, latest extension. And this is a string. Oh. There we go. And then from here... we have simply put it here, and that's the page. And oh, I kind of wish they were the same. That would save me so much pain, because utilities. Well, technically this wouldn't work because of the fact that it has they pluralize it. So we'll just go ahead and deal with ROM hack. Latest hack, final string, and this is just known as hack. There we go. This is latest translation, and this will be also translation. There we go. And then last but not least, this one will be utilities, and this was just called util, like that. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, util. So from here we can now simply go start grabbing the latest stuff instead of let's see here, instead of let's see here. Instead of that, we'll just simply do this. We'll call it download latest page. Then page equals string. Then this will be the main URL plus our extension. There it is, a ROM hack latest. ROM hack latest extension. There it is. Dot format. Oh. There we go. All right. And then we will wait a few seconds, and then we'll download that. And this will be, in this case, we'll also put in page. But we want the date too. We want to know when we last extracted. But we're also going to want to do a comparison with the latest one as well. Yeah, we'll want to do a latest as well. How should this be processed? Let's see here. Yeah, how should we process this? Should latest be its own individual thing, and then we just constantly are overwriting latest? Or should we track it by date so that technically we should probably track it by date, because I think that's the best course of action. So the reason why I'm trying to think about it and figure out why is because of the fact that everything is going to be dissociated. For instance, I'm not going to be parsing immediately after I save the data. We're going to be saving that for a later function or a later pipeline. So extraction is separate from parsing. And because of that, there could be a possibility in the future where the parsing is so slow that we might eventually go back and extract out the latest hacks, but we failed to do the one before. So if I do overwriting, then there's a chance that I would lose data. So I think the better course of action would be to set it so that for the latest data, as soon as we extract it, and as soon as we extract, because the whole idea of this is just to know what has been updated. So once we go through and I can validate that we've updated everything on the list, then we don't need it. So that will be what the case is. So let's go ahead and, man, we're going to have to start keeping track of a lot of our logic. Man, we're going to have to keep track of all our logic. We'll discard those. Yes. Go ahead and discard. Yes. Don't want that. Okay then. So then, latest translation hacks utils. There we go. Once we validate and check everything in the list of these data dumps, then we can remove, or then we can delete from database. So this means we need to write functions to compare the audit code, the audit data. So yeah, write functions to compare the audit data with the translation, or the latest dates, and if greater than, or if less than, so if less than, then needs updating. There we go. Okay then. So yeah, that's something that we have to do, and that's the next step we'll have to do to get done. Let's save this as notes so that we don't forget these things. This will be the DB notes. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice, nice. Okay then, so from here we have the ability to download these pages. Web page. Oh yeah, we don't need web page anymore. That's just a redundant call at this point. There we go. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. And this is not a sitemap. This is a web page. So this will be web page, and then doc.tag. We'll call this the latest. There we go. And as I said, we're going to have to create an enum for tags at some point, because this is going to be shared throughout the entire database. Let's see here, enum. We have web page types: sitemap, web page, article, social media, news. So, maybe, because this is technically a web data type, so why don't we put this down here, and we'll call this the page types. So this will happen to be latest 7, latest, and this will happen to be a web page dedicated to the most recent information. There we go. Okay. And then another one, since we're trying to also do this, we'll also have hacks and homebrew and utilities. And we'll put translations. I have a feeling web page is going to slowly get phased out. Because originally everything was going to go under that. But seeing as how I'm adding these here, maybe we'll parse these out somewhere else. Why don't we, because these are a completely different group, I'm going to put these under the 4s. There we go. Okay. Oh. Hacks. Translations. We should probably... There we go. Well, let's not do that. Homebrew. Utility. Let's try and keep everything in the same pluralization. I think that will make things a little bit easier. Webpage dedicated to hacks. Let's see, dedicated to, let's see here. Translation, homebrew, and then last utilities, or utility. There we go. Oh, all right then. So with that in mind, our scraper. So this is no longer just going to be latest. We're actually going to use type enum, latest. There we go. Nice. And then from here, if you recall, let's see here. ROM hack name. Not that one. Tag is page name. Oh, I think that would be fine. But yeah, that's definitely going to be latest, and wherever else we may find them, we should actually let's see. Yeah, we're going to keep it like this for now. We'll keep it like this for now. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, now that we tag it, we can then pull out the latest. Actually, we need to... All right. All right, we need to double up on this a bit. Makes me think I should set the tag to be multi-tagged. Being that we want to, we'll put a page here for now. There we go, page. The reason why is because we do kind of also want to, when I'm doing the parsing, because if I just add it to latest and then I try to say extract latest, then what will happen is it will go, oh, you want to do the latest? Well, which latest? Should I put the homebrew in with the ROM hacks, or maybe put the utilities with the translations? Like, so we need to define out what page the latest is from. So there we go. Okay, and I think that's good. All right, all right, and then here we're doing the extractions. So, all right. So what I think the next thing to do here, if we're at the parser, so if you remember here, we end up having this database right here. This is all of our data. If I wanted to be lazy, I could probably put it all under a single data structure and then say, hey, this is all the data we have. Why don't you go ahead and grab it? And that way I could put all of utilities together and whatnot. But I'm thinking maybe I should probably instead keep them separate so that we would have separate. So the idea would be that we would have separate databases, So instead of just calling it web page docs, then we would have another one which would be ROM hack list, and then ROM hack list and translation list and utilities list, those types of things. If we keep them separated out, then again, it won't have much issues. We'd need to create a page for it, though. Yeah, we need to create a document page for it, though. Let's see here. Where are you? It should be in Mongo docs. I'm going to have to start organizing this a bit. ROM hack. All right then. So actually, this is the ROM collection data. Yeah, this is for the individual, but what about we haven't made it yet. That's why. Okay. We're going to have to make it. All right then. All right. We're going to have to make the document. So this will be we'll just call this the ROM collections. All right then. I can't believe that I actually have a file already called ROM collection. Let's call this the hack. Okay, we're renaming this file. Okay, we'll call this the ROM hack collections. There we go. And this is going to be a series of different things. So this will be the hacks collection. Let's see here. All right, we'll call that hacks collection. And theoretically, this is going to be all the same stuff. So where's our parsed data? Here's our parsed data. This is it right here. We want that. We take you. We take ye. Okay, let's grab you. All right, right here. And then we also have two other files that we need to be keeping track of. This will be the URL, and this will be the hack name. All right. So by the looks of things, all right. So, yeah, we're going to have to do some we'll have to do some cleaning afterwards because we want everything to be standardized. But the first one is going to be or a title or hack name. This is going to be a string field. Oh. String field. And this will be hack name. All right then. And then the original game. So all right. Then what else is here? We then want to do category. Make sure I spell it right. Category. I need to make sure I spell it correctly. All right, then URL should be next. Oh, URL should be present. There we go. And then okay then. I'm thinking, this would be great for creating the lists, because then we could keep track of all of the, as I said, this will be the list of all of the hacks, and then we could easily go in and see more. I guess it'll be fine to keep it like this, yeah. I'm wondering if I should just make a dictionary and then just dump it in there in the database and say, hey, here's this very big database, extract it out and use it. But I think I think it would be better this way, because then I can set it for prioritizing different hacks and such. For instance, I want to update the PlayStation today. So I can go in and simply go pull out all of the games that are on the platform PlayStation and see about if what the updates are there. I think that would make more sense. And then we could this could be a living document so that we could be updating it as we go, which means we really need to get the ID. We really need to get the ID field working. If I recall, we have name in our base doc ROM, don't we? Checksum, desales, name. Yeah, we have it right here, name. So instead of ROM hack name, instead of ROM hack name, okay, where did I go? There it is. What I'm going to do is simply say use name for ROM hack name. Actually, I could do this. Nah, actually, I think it'll complain if I do that. We're just going to. I don't really want to overwrite name, so we'll just keep it like that. Okay. So yeah, just use name for ROM hack name, and then platform. Actually, if you remember, base ROM has details. Details. Let's see here. Details is right here, which would be the oh, okay, that's something else. That's something else. Okay. Maybe I will have to rewrite details then. No, we should keep that the same because we'll be updating that too. Theoretically, this is just going to be the table, so just ignore it. Let's just keep filling in the table. All right, platform. It's going to be also string. And category version. It's going to be a string. Date is going to be a date time. And released by is a string. I think released by should be... Go on. Oh, silly dog. He wants to go out. All right. Date time should be... Or released by. He's the creator. So... All right then. Genre. We need to add that in as well. And I found out that's spelled wrong. Thank you. Okay. There we go. And I think, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're missing one. Hack name, date, original, release by, version, category, platform, genre. Genre of original game. All right, let's see here. Release by, original game, genre, platform, category, version, date. Oh yeah, name. Okay. We did everything. All right. Duh. Okay, yeah, we did everything. All right. All right, so let's see here. You are... Oh, your string field. And this happens to be a date time field. Date time. Oh, wrong one, wrong one. Date time. There it is, date time field. And this will be... Oh, they always complain that this should be the release DT. It always has a trouble with date, so we need to set it to DT. I remember that being a major complaint that it had. All right. So URL, genre, platform, released by, oh, we should probably, there we go, released by we'll call this version. And then last but not least, let's make sure that this is correct. There we go, release DT. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. All right, and then from here we could, since this will be the same for other places. Yeah, since this is going to be the same for other places, we can probably, I'm looking. All right, we'll just do this for now. And this will be translation. So translation collection. Translations, or translation collection. There we go. And if I recall, the majority of it was the same. The only difference was the language that it was being translated into. So if we go to translations, genre, platform, status, version date. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, they don't have category. Okay. Category is unique. All right. So this has to be translation. Translation, we'll call it translation language. There we go. Okay. So now what we can do is we can simply call these and run them. And in fact, when we're in the parser, let's see here, we're generating the ROM list right here. And what we can simply do is get collection ROM hacks. Yeah. So we'll have to start building another service. The service will have to, it'll be a service, a collect. Maybe we can probably use the, well, no, web page services for web pages. The ROM hacks are, we'll have to create some kind of connection to these. We'll have to do it next time though. It's 5:30. I've been streaming for about an hour and 30 minutes. I need to go out and buy groceries. We have actually had a very nice period with not a lot of rain. So if I need to take advantage of that. If I do not go out and buy groceries now, I'm probably going to have to swim to the store to pick up groceries. But we've managed to do much. We've extracted data. We have it forever stored in our database now. Great. Thank you. It's been quite fun. I will look up this ID thing and figure it out because this is very annoying. But yeah, we have data. And we'll extract more data, and then after that, we'll start going into the individual pages and collecting this data here. Once we can start collecting this data here, and then from there, then we have to start building the parser for the no intro data. But until that, but one step at a time. But it's been fun. And until then, I'll see everybody later. Have a good one, everyone. And yeah. Stay dry, because it's been raining. Laters. And my doggy wants to bark. Like always, he wants to bark. Bark, 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 bark.